It feels like the toxicity of the world has left the body. And then when it's reintroduced, it's more seen like, holy shit, that's crazy what we do to the body and what we're able to see as normal and be okay with. Because most people are okay with the so-called normal stuff. Caffeinating yourself like crazy just to get by and work um and they can't really know or see what that actually does to the body because everyone's doing it and you're not going to feel the effects in the way that it can be felt here now. It's impossible. Yeah, it's just crazy to me, People can drink like crazy and it's like normal. That's the norm. That's considered okay, like understandable. And in a way it is. Like I can understand it as well. The demands of life are quite intense. And I'm cautious of saying this stuff because I'm just in a particular place. I think when a lot of stuff was being processed or coming up, those things can be helpful sometimes here and there. It will vary for everybody. So it's not a bad thing. It's like a little support or like a tool, and there's nothing wrong with it. Um, unless it feels like it's really harming the body, then you could sense like, yeah, maybe it's doing more damage than good. So I don't mean for anyone to feel bad. It's just I think this body has gotten to a point where it didn't need that stuff anymore. Like it saw that the smallest bit of it was like bad for it. It did stuff that was not preferred. And I got a taste of how um normal people live again. And I haven't been around that for so long in a way, in that way. How busy they are, how busy the social life is, how um their schedule is packed with to me it feels like unnecessary things now. It's like why? I think one of the most fun things that I would do is just have brunch with friends, like on the weekends. I think that was like a highlight of my life, like how I lived my life. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was probably just seeing friends and, complaining or telling stories or updating them with my life and hearing what's going on with theirs and drinking in the morning lunch time and relaxing and not having to work and But yeah, because the I guess the energy has changed so much now, like I'm quite satisfied being at home doing nothing. And it's not even considered doing nothing, like it's just pleasant. It's just nice. There's nothing else that's needed. It's okay if other stuff happen, but the base and the foundation is I'm fine the way this is. So then when things are added, which again it's fine now. Like there is the energy to sometimes do it, but it really is seen from a completely different place. Like I don't get it. Like why? It's not really needed. It's nice to see you, depending, but it's nice to once in a while see people, but it's just yeah, not needed in the same way. Like I don't need um I was going to say the relief from life, like the burden of life. There are just then the other things like vacation and all of these things, they have a lot more gravity to it because it is like a break from the burden of everything. But then, even saying that, like I went through something really difficult recently, and those things were nice, nice just distractions. I knew that I couldn't distract for very long. I knew that um I kind of knew what I was doing. And when the body finally did have time to really just be, um it wasn't beautiful at the time, but like it's beautiful that it was able to just collapse and actually just feel the hurt and pain of this chaotic situation that had unfolded. And the body was basically in bed for, I don't know, on and off 12 hours or more. But I could feel like that was necessary. That's exactly what the body needed to do. And there was nothing but the hurt. And before there was like a lot of bouts of anger and disgust and horror and regret and trying to just shock. Um, but yeah, that collapse into just the hurt of what had happened or the pain. Um, it was nice. You could feel the resignation in the body, like it had given up trying to figure out how it could have been different and what should have been, what could have been, the hope for the future, the hope for a certain outcome. Like that it's so painful for the body now because it knows like that's all chaos. A hope for a better future is chaos. A hope for anything because it's delusion. It's like made up. You're holding on to something that's fake and you can really feel it in the body. It does not feel good. And it's only this obvious once the body has emptied out from doing that. It's just obvious like no, I can't live that way anymore. It's not real. So in the loss of that, in the loss of a better or worse something, like the body can finally just, yeah, collapse into what is actually there, the pain of it. And it passed quite quickly. Like it kind of just took less than a day. And then the mind did really settle down. Like it wasn't attacking as much. Maybe there were little blips of hating the situation and being angry again, but it was something had fallen back and I could feel that. And then it needed less distractions, like it just naturally just fell away. It wasn't needed anymore. And so you see how this is like the opposite of how the person functions. Like they're trying to get to relief or letting go or feeling better. And it's all okay. But this is the opposite. This is seeing that you have no control. You can try as much as you want or as much as there's the energy too. That's also not up to you. But yeah, you see over and over that the body's more at peace when it truly, truly sees for itself that you were never in control of anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Yeah. It was really beautiful to see like the how intense things can actually be in the human body. I feel like that's what I'm seeing. I feel like I'm seeing what it's actually like without the imaginary made up stuff of being a girl, being a good girl, being a certain way, being kind, being compassionate, being unconditionally loving, being patient, being anything that's layered on top of what just is. Like that's what I'm really seeing. And there's a beauty to it. It's quite intense. It's full on. And I'm adjusting. I'm in shock sometimes. But it's so beautiful compared to how I used to function and how it would be so much more confusing. It's not that it wasn't confusing this time. It's just that it seemed to move past really fast because there was a sharpness to things. Like when something was a no, like it was more and more obvious that things were just chaos. It's like there's a powerful, you could say rejection or like a destruction. Like get the fuck out of here. I don't want this shit. And it's very clear. And there isn't the, oh, but I really want like, that feeling of needing safety and therefore looking at the positives or like the good in it and what you can save from it, what you can nitpick and say, like, oh, but that's good enough. That makes it good enough, right? Like, it's not that bad. Um, I don't know. The 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 force or the clarity of what just is so dampened and minimized by all of these little things of how the mind can compartmentalize everything. Like these are all the good things and these are the bad. And maybe I'm willing to deal with the bad because I want these things. It gives me security. It gives me hope for the future. It gives me safety, imaginary safety. But, and so you're able to compromise. You're able to do shit that you really don't want to and be more accepting of people and understanding. And again, I'm not talking about every person. Like there are just some extreme examples where it's like people don't mean to be that fucked up or twisted or toxic or um manipulative, but like they can think that they're doing good, you know? But it's kind of a really beautiful thing to see so clearly like no, that's twisted. I know you think that you're doing good, but that's because you can't see clearly at all. There's like way too much stuff there. And it's unfortunate that they will think that I'm the crazy one, but what's louder than ever is how much the body is screaming and how much it is saying, not through words. Doesn't have to be like that. It's just obvious. Something is off, like really off. Yeah. And you really see how harmful that energy is. It's really disgusting. And again, most people don't know that they're that way, that the energy is that way. It's the mass majority of people. But you know, stronger in just degrees. But when it's intense, you know, it's like, whoa, that does a lot of damage to the body. If you'd like to interact, you're welcome to raise your hand. It doesn't have to be related to what I said. Could just share what's going on for you. Hi, Tatiana.
Hello, Suzanne. Hello, people. Hello, guys.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yeah, I was listening to you, and I'm not in that stage yet, so, but I can understand or imagine those things. Some my dad came. Um, well, I've been living those weeks after we talked, and I it was very helpful, that conversation. And I was thinking about to ask you about thoughts, because like you said, it's not that it's getting worse. I am more aware of things that once I was running away from or not aware. So now it's like a torture to know that I am not these thoughts, but still I believe them. And since I wake up in the morning, I open my eyes, it is a hurricane 24/7, all kinds of thoughts.
Yeah.
How was for you? How did you? Because okay, I won't believe it, but I suffered like I believe them, and it's like I have to force myself to believe that I am not these thoughts, because it's not true for me. So I keep, I how how did you deal with it? Like, it's just keep looking, and I'm not this. How was for you? What was the shift that you just dealt with it, my aunt?
Yeah. It's a lovely question. It's um there is no shift in that way, meaning the thoughts will be believable when they're believable. Like it's not your job to not believe it, but everything you're doing makes sense. Like the overall seeing like they're not really true and trying to distance yourself from it or see it as like not really true. Um the hurricane and the tornado that you just described is very normal. Like that happened to me. Um, it was quite a lot in the beginning, and there were many bouts of that. Many, many. Um, it does kind of soften over time, and you kind of get used to it in a way because it's not that it stops. It can lighten because certain things just become irrelevant or they're not important anymore. So then it can lighten in that way, but certain things can still pop up and then there will be like a storm again. But I think where if I sense correctly like where you're coming from, it's gonna be just a lot of stuff that's like up in the air. And so I can understand why it would just be like um yeah, you're just bombarded by thoughts.
It's so we like ignored, like
No, I mean, there's no right way of dealing with it, but sometimes you could sense if it's something that's really, really nagging you and repeating. It's sometimes good to express and talk about it. Um, there are just things that will repeat themselves, and that's okay. It's not like your fault.
would you say that any should in our minds, any should, should, it's an illusion, it's wrong, or or there are some shoulds that we should consider?
Yeah, yeah. There's no yeah, I can't really say that. It just depends. Like you can get a feel for certain things. Like not that you will know for sure all the time, but I wouldn't say like, yeah, all shoulds are you just disregard it all. I don't think I would say that.
Mhm. I don't think I think everything I will say to you will be just repeated, like
That's okay.
all the suffering around thoughts, worrying with the future all the time. Like I was reading a post on Patreon, a quite long one about a video that you did. I think die to yourself, something like that. And you expose so detailed that I think it's everything that I've been experiencing, and you describe it so well that it's when I hear you, it's almost like we don't have too much many things to do and to try to have an answer to how to. It seems like we live and we can talk to you to get some comfort and I don't know, perhaps some clarity and just see what happens. Like no control, as you always say. A natural thing that unfolds to anyone that is living this thing.
Hmm.
It's like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be highly uncomfortable and probably, yeah, it's gonna be very difficult because there is gonna be the back and forth of like you can understand that there is no actual future, but the habit and the momentum and the energetic belief that I can make it this way or I have this sort of agency and control, it's it's quite powerful and strong. So there's no right way of going about this, meaning it's okay to believe it and like go with it sometimes. At least that was happening here where I tried sometimes. Like there were moments where it was just more unknown and I really could not like plan for the future. Um, and then there were other times where it just felt healthy to do it anyways, like to plan and to get stuff done or have goals, things like that. Um, but the energy was doing it itself. Like it was just doing what it needed to do to, yeah, what felt healthiest in the moment. And then I feel like over time it diminished, the energy itself diminished to be able to function that way. So then it was really like, I don't know, we'll see. I might have the energy, I might not. Um, you get used to it in a way, and you'll see that it's kind of more of internal supporting the body. Like when it's worried, it will really go into the future. So that's not really up to you, you know? It's like when there is that insecurity and not feeling safe, that is the mechanism of the body. Like that's how it learned how to be safe in a way. Just one example of how it learned how to be safe. So then it really is more about like what does the body need to feel more comfort like right now in the moment. Um because projecting into the future, it's not really a problem. It's like an effect of I don't feel safe. I just do not feel okay. And it makes sense that you don't feel okay. Like we've never been um told that basically you're okay. We've always been told like you need this, you need that, you need to get married, you need this job, you need more money, you need so like no wonder then what the body feels is massive insecurity without that stuff and constantly thinking, how am I going to get that? How am I going to achieve this? I'm not good enough. I have to work hard. I have to be this way. Um, so then right now you're in the in between where it's like you're hearing that that's not the answer, but the body itself is massively um conditioned to be the opposite, you know? And so what you're dealing with is the tornadoes of everything, all the thoughts. Um basically it's like it's burning up. And so it's okay to go back to the old ways of functioning here and there. And you could also know that it's already happening anyways, regardless of that. Like the energy will burn up in its own time. It already is. It's already kind of happening.
And another thing I wanted to ask you, I don't know if in some point you just uh, gave up uh, practices, or you just live and allow everything and just live like let it go, or I don't know, just live, suffer, and one day you were dying, like we were describing in other videos, like it was just unfolding. You just living your life, suffering or not. You know what I mean? I mean, you were practicing and believing in something, meditating, and I'm not mind. And in some point, you just, I believe, and see what happened. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for me, I had to be told that that's not getting you anywhere because it's really hard to see that you're not getting anywhere. It really appears like you are and there's improvement, but what you just described is the actual proof that you didn't get anywhere. Like there was so much stuff underneath that you could not even access just because that was a massive, it's like a way of living that you've constructed, that people have constructed. So then you're like on an imaginary path to nowhere. You think it's somewhere, but when you're living that way, it's like you have no clue how unsafe the body actually feels because it has this thing. It's living on top of this imaginary roadmap, and you can manage the mind. You can just be like, that's not me. That's not it's like a way of living. That's all it is. Um, and so when I was time and time again told, like, you, that's not what this is really about. That's just an imaginary roadmap of the same thing as getting married and feeling secure that way, or getting the perfect job and feeling secure that way. It is quite temporary. Um, you'll see cracks in it for sure. You'll never feel like this is it. It's always going to feel like, yeah, it's never going to be good enough. Um, Not that during this you won't have feelings of not feeling good enough, because yeah, that energy is emerging like full on the not enoughness. Um, and so it was confusing for a while because you won't have the clarity of like, I shouldn't do the practices because it's not getting me anywhere. It's not quite clear yet. So it's okay to do certain things because it can provide some comfort for the body. It can be like if I think back, I don't think I let go of all practices all at once because now it was habituated in the body anyways. Like the body would actually just do it out of habit. Whether it got relief from it or not, I'm not quite sure, but it just did it. And I think a lot of it just softened over time. And things are going to be different for everybody, but I still did things to, I guess, overall relax the body. Um, and it always varied what I did because it depended on the energy and it depended on a lot of different things. But basically I was getting used to not having that consistency of this is who I am. I exercise at this time every day or this many times a week, and I sleep at this time and I have a night routine, and like I couldn't live that way anymore. Maybe that could happen for a bit, but for the most part, it was like it was a lot more spontaneous. And I couldn't structure the body in that way anymore. It was a lot more fluid. Um, and the way that I see it now is like all of these structures, all of these ways to be, all of these night routine, morning routine, gratitude journal, positivity, looking at the bright side, and um,
Who am
like,
I? Who am I? I'm not.
yeah, yeah, all of that stuff. It's fine for the person. It's fine if you just want to get by, um, and have your life basically the same as it was before. You're not really changing anything. You're just, it's like another suit that you've put on, like a spiritual kind of better person sort of suit, which is very convincing. And it makes it appear like you've actually developed as a person. Um, you've kind of just accumulated more things, actually. You didn't become more free. You've accumulated more, and you won't even know that until it kind of falls apart. Um, but when it falls apart, it's highly uncomfortable and you will second guess yourself constantly. You will be like, but they are more peaceful, but maybe that is the way. Maybe they are getting somewhere. Maybe they are more advanced than me. Maybe because they're telling me and they're promoting it and they're appearing as if they are more kind and patient and uh more peaceful. But it's a they're just living on the surface. Like it is kind of a facade. They just don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Those days that there is no security. And when we get in touch with that, we suffer, we feel this fear. But when I start to, I know I'm not this, I, I'm going to meditate, it's like I, I run away from the truth and I get comfort and security. And it's like you're saying, I'm not letting, I'm grasping, I'm grabbing another thing. It's not material. It's a hope. It's a certainty. That's what you say, because that's what I noticed that today, for example, I wake up so early, 5 a.m. I don't know how, and I started to do things, cleaning the house, and then I had nothing. So I go to YouTube to see spiritual teachings, and then I like, well, it's like an entertainment. What I mean, I have listened zillions of times those teachings. What am I doing here? And then okay, so I can do this every time. So when I will be with myself, feeling and living, and just, oh no, getting comfort. That's what I was thinking. Like, this can, it's it's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's no different than other things. It's just harder to tell because they're kind of saying that it's different, that it's not a distraction, that this is important. This is the highest path. This is, um,
Yeah, it's like I'm getting. Um, it's good to listen every day, every time, because something will happen. This time I will listen, and then, yeah, I need this because it's like this.
yeah, yeah,
And so I stopped the video and say, okay, this isn't entertainment, but I couldn't. I just, no, I need to hear again that I am consciousness, that that there is no suffering. But like,
yeah, yeah. I mean that in itself is very strange to say that you are consciousness. Um, there's just
yeah, that's,
everything. There's just life.
yeah. Well, this is hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's very confusing.
Mm. Yeah, so, but okay, it's like, it is. I'll be here. I'll be here in 2 weeks because life will go on, and yeah. So
Yeah. That well, The body only shows you as much as it can handle in a way. It's not gonna, it knows what it's doing already. I know that it feels like absolute chaos. I know that it's going back and forth to spiritual stuff. That makes complete sense. Um, it's like reckoning with itself. It's like, wait, really? Like, seriously? I've done this like for how many years? And like, wait, what? Um, it's like processing, and it's okay that if it goes back, um, and finds comfort like on the just the body level, even if it doesn't make mental sense anymore. Like you can say like that's kind of bullshit, but even if, the body gets some relief or comfort that way, like I think that's okay. It will kind of naturally feel like it's not needed when it feels that way. Um, it's not that there aren't good things on the spiritual path. Like I think that um it's really hard to parse out, because in a way, they do kind of, because part of me can say, like, the more you listen to it, like, it kind of subconsciously indoctrinates you, or like it is kind of seeping in sometimes. I don't know that for sure, but it can. Um, so that's the thing where I'm like, yeah, it's better not to listen, but maybe you can find other things where it's like it can be helpful for the body or the nervous system. It can feel nourishing, it can feel safe, it can feel healthy. um because a lot of them do provide some of that stuff. It's just that then they say other things that are just like made up and put you on a weird path that's not going to do anything and just keeps you lost. um yeah, I remember at one point I felt like self-help was helpful, like the basics of how to deal with the body. And but it was coming from a different place where it was a little bit less of like I should be able to be a certain way. I think it was now the body more speaking, like, oh, okay, like learning again, like taking little footsteps of, okay, these are the basics of taking care of the human body. And uh it almost felt very rudimentary, but it felt revolutionary. Like I was doing it for the first time. I was learning how to actually be with the body and take care of it in such a simple and basic way, because I couldn't before. I was completely lost in imagination and dreamland and becoming a more spiritually evolved person. And that's really harmful for the body. It's so detached from what simply is. And so I was relearning, like, oh, the body loves this. It needs this. It needs this amount of sleep now. Um, there was a lot less judgment around like what it needed right now based on what it's going through. Like right now, it's going to be quite intense. So it might need a lot of rest, a lot of downtime. Um, And then other times it's good to move the body and be more active because the mind needs to shut up sometimes, you know? Like it's not that great to just be with the craziness there.
Yeah, like very organic, like when I want to walk, just because it becomes intense, I walk and it feels perfect. But it was not forced, like I need to walk. That's what you're saying. I need to do that. It's just,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're reminding me like I walked a lot because it would do something to the body where it wouldn't just, it would maybe think, but like it was nice for the body to just like be active in that way as well.
and in that, in your process, you begin to not to believe in your thoughts. Just, I don't know if you had like shit self-talk like I have, really shit, but I think, yeah, you had.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, okay, keep talking, just, I'm here. It was
I
like
mean,
that.
sometimes it was like that, but a lot of the times it felt quite believable and painful and difficult to deal with. Um, a lot of the times it just reminded me of why life was so difficult for me because it was incessant and I was seeing it very clearly. Like it's truly incessant. The attacks on just me, you know, whatever I considered me to be. Um, yeah, but you're not doing anything wrong, and it's not it's not your doing and it's not your fault that it is that way. It's just a normal thing that would be there and a normal thing that would be quite strong when there is uh the belief that I am this, I am everything it does. It's never perfect. It has to be better, you know. It feels responsible for all the thoughts and what it says. And I mean, that's a huge burden on the body. And it gets, yeah, it gets a little compacted. Like it took a long time for that to burn up, if I'm being really honest. Um, yeah, different things will work at different times, you know? Like sometimes I just had to, if I could, like really be there for the body or be around people who would support me. Um, but yeah, it's not an uncommon thing.
Okay, yeah, that's it. I'll keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Like I want an answer. Give me what you did. What you did with the thought.
what to do with the thoughts? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What helps me is really what gives me comfort. It's some self-inquiry, like to whom these thoughts are coming, because it's just like I try to believe that I am not them. So it gives me some,
Mhm.
it's what's been
I
helpful.
can see that. Yeah. Yeah. I think I was naturally doing that as well, not because anyone told me, but because yeah, it was just happening.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you're doing really well. I know it's really difficult. Use the tools if they feel helpful. It makes sense that they would be used. It's healthy.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you so much for sharing. Hey, Clee.
Hey,
Good to see you.
good to see you too. I really enjoyed listening to that conversation.
Mm.
Hmm. I was going to speak to something you said, but I can't remember.
Mhm.
Hmm. I really have no idea what's happening. None. Something. God, I can tell stories on stories on stories. I know I can, and so I don't need to tell the whole story of everything that's happened in the last few weeks. But we have mold. We have to move out. We're looking for somewhere else. Thought we were looking in one place. I was hiding from myself, have been in a million ways, and realized I really don't want to live in the other place we were looking. And it's coming to pass that we're probably going to move back to my hometown, which is what I thought would never happen, ever, in a million years. Obviously not. That's insane. That's what I've been avoiding. And like, I mean, if you, it's not running away. It's just not right for me there. Oh, yeah. And somehow we've been staying at my auntie's for a few days, and she's the best. And I feel so safe, so safe with her. And being here at home and driving around the villages I grew up driving around, and I feel this. Usually I'm just desperate to leave, but this time I can't fathom that I have to go back to London. It's only an hour and a half away, but I'm something happened in the last 2 days where I'm like, okay, I'm here now. That's it. And it's the most confusing thing. The mind is like, no, this is stupid. Absolutely not. And the body is like, yeah, this is nice. Let's go here. And also something beyond the body and the mind that is just there's just like a yeah, this. And it just goes against every story I've been telling myself. And so I'm making up stories about how it's, a homecoming or a cycle ending. And those things, the cycle ending thing, there's something to that, I think, facing things that I haven't faced, that I haven't been able to, the body hasn't been able to do. Like you said a moment ago, the body mind only will look at something when it feels ready to, which is nice. and a lot is coming up. Oof. Usually I when I get mad or sad, I just want to talk and tell people. And then a few days ago I went quiet, which was very odd, but quite nice in some ways, quite a lot of ways. It was a pulling away, but it was like an implosion that happened. Usually it's an explosion, but this time it felt like an implosion. But I just had nothing left. I was trying to explain how I felt, and then I was like, I have nothing. There's nothing. I can't. There's nothing. I can't keep trying. I'm, having feeling sad or stuck or whatever, and all the different ways out, trying to find a way out. And I'm like, I actually, I can't. And maybe that energy to do it will come back, maybe. But in this moment, there's just, I can't, I don't care and I can't care and you can't make me. Like,
Mm.
also, I could breathe. It usually, when there's like stress, if there's an implosion or a pushing people away, usually there's also this like, I'm not okay, and the body contracts. Usually there's a lot of contraction. It was the opposite of contraction. It was very weird. I'm like, oh, my lungs are filling up fuller. I'm breathing slower. I feel more spacious internally, which was pleasant. It was much more pleasant, but I wasn't necessarily making that a good thing either, which was quite interesting. I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't have any idea. Am I descending further into chaos and despair? Am I reaching some beautiful enlightened state? I have absolutely no idea. Zero. Nothing. It's just here. That would be me trying again, and that sounds like hard work.
Mm. Yeah.
There's just no guessing. There's no guessing what's going to happen tomorrow in 5 minutes. It feels physically uncomfortable to try. I'm seeing all the ways I've been judging friends at home, and that, I'm better because I'm more spiritual or I've traveled more. I'm more interesting because I've done more interesting things and I'm more alternative. And I know I can see we're in a matrix and all these weird ways to try and be special. And I think the specialness is maybe a lot of my mum stuff is still here. And I think I'm still trying to be special to her. And as I'm speaking to my auntie and uncovering and just letting those things be aired, just letting them be spoken about, and slowly the realization that it's got that my mum didn't give me what I expected as a child, and there's nothing I can do. There's no amount of being special that will change that ever. I'm not special. It doesn't matter how pretty I am or smart or interesting or how much I know, or it really doesn't, God, it's got no, it really hasn't, it doesn't matter at all. I think that feels, I don't know, embodied about 30%. It's quite new. It doesn't feel there's like a yes, that's true. Is it? Yeah, yes, no. There's definitely like in moments a big yes, that definitely makes sense, but which is lovely and terrifying. I'm like, oh, what the fuck do I do with my time if I don't spend it trying to be someone to people and be interesting or something?
Mm.
And the irony is that that effort was trying to be close to my mum and was disconnecting me from everyone because I was trying to convince myself that I was better than everyone in some way, separate. Which,
Really well
which
said.
yeah, it's and it's do you know what's fucking insane? I have known that I have an inferiority superiority complex for at least 10 years. Like I could see it 10 years ago, but there is no way I could see what I've seen the last few days 10 years ago.
Yeah, no way.
God, it's so all of the intelligence is so utterly, utterly profound, perfect, incredible, and also mundane, all of it, and super fucking painful.
Yep.
It's in what? Just when there's like an idea of it's this, like the mind goes, "Oh, I get it. I get it." Like, forget it.
Yep.
You're like, "Oh, I've let go of more things, and now it's clean. Now I'm clear of all of that." Nah, no, no, no. Oh, I quite like looking at Reddit, and it's another way I get to feel special and important because I get to comment on things and say, "Well, I know," and it's quite nice because it's. I don't know. I quite like doing it. I quite like watching it happen and then writing a comment and then just like not posting it and ignoring it. Just,
Mm.
and how people talk. I like the non-duality thread thing. And a lot of the time, I'm quite bored of it because it's all the same and it's boring. But I quite like seeing that it's quite amusing when someone says, I felt non-dual experience. It was like this. I feel so great. How do I get it back? And then people, it's just so funny.
Mm.
Um, it's just the inception of the hilarity where I'm saying I've experienced it, but you're doing it wrong, or you've missed the point because I know. And just the and then that scene and then that's hilarious and it's just so funny. It's so funny that it's seen and it's absolutely not seen simultaneously. I definitely feel like there's an I that like I exist for sure. And then when I look, that makes no sense and I can't find myself. None of it makes sense. Suzanne, none of it makes sense. Why? Why are we even trying? Ridiculous.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking how Yeah, this is a real generalization, but the more time you have away from something, the more clear it becomes. Like not engaging in it will clarify things on its own. It's just the tearing yourself apart from that thing that is quite difficult. But then once it settles and you see that it's so much more peaceful without that complexity, and then you see it more as a whole rather than the intricacies of it, like the details where you can see where you're right and they're right or they're wrong. And it's
Yeah.
like you can't really see bigger picture what's like actually going on. But when it has really left your system and it keeps going, you keep seeing it clearer and clearer and clearer, and then it's gone, like irrelevant. It's not even a thing anymore.
Mm. I'm so perplexed. I'm just in this constant state of perplexed. I feel at the moment I feel worse than I have in years, and that's saying something because I felt well. I don't know. In the current moment, it feels that way. It's probably not true. I've just another one of very shitty moments, and yet somehow sitting here, I feel more. I feel more authentic than I have without an effort, without having done meditation, without being in the practices. Just, I'm exhausted and I can't be fucked to try. I'm just, fuck off.
Yeah,
And I'm too tired to even look to see if there's, normally I think I'd look for a correlation. It's me finding new lows connected to me finding new authenticity. In order that I can try and reach new lows again to like, oh, fuck off. Because I won't want to look for new lows because that's not going to happen. I don't want to, really. It really just happens. It just
exactly.
really, yeah.
And when it feels bad, it feels bad. There's nothing else. So
Yeah.
I said that recently too, like something similar. Where when it's bad, it's just the badness. There's just nothing else. So the ability to even compare, like that has kind of diminished too. Like it is just what it is. So
I've had some moments recently, two or three times, where I felt very, very like suicidally having those kind of thoughts. And usually they don't scare me too much because I have that I'm not my thoughts. I know it's just a thought. There is a degree of separation which feels safer, but it gets scary when it doesn't even feel safe to tell anyone, and I don't feel separate from that. It feels true. It feels like it would be the best thing. And but you know what? It's funny because when I'm sitting in those moments where I'm telling my husband, I know it's just a thought, you don't have to worry about me, I'm still protecting him whilst I am in the lowest moment. I'm still not fully feeling the depth of what's there because I'm trying to save someone else from myself. It's almost like I'm still not really letting myself really go there. And recently there's been no choice. That thing has disappeared. So it's scary and not scary because I'm not scared. There's like a fear because something about I'm scared because I'm not as freaking out as I normally would be about feeling these things. I'm like, that's dangerous. If is everything okay? I don't know if it's okay. I'm supposed to tell someone, but I really don't want to. But what if I get somewhere that I can't get myself out of? I don't understand. I don't know what the best, there's all these mental health warnings that come up in my own mind because what if I get sent to a psychiatrist? What if I go to a psychiatric hospital and I can't imagine that's going to help me feeling
Mm.
better, safer, or loved. All the things that I really want to feel, I don't think it's going to help. But and I haven't yet surrendered to that piece, but something has gone because I have got to those moments, and I so happen to find myself in my auntie's house, the woman I probably trust most in the world with my feelings, and she's there. it's
Oh,
it's just all so confusingly perfect
oh,
and horrible, but
yeah.
those moments are hard and confusing.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to pull myself out of it. There's that I'm supposed to not feel that because other people get scared and because I'm scared and because I don't really want to. But in that moment, I really do want to actually.
Yeah,
No, I really do want to. And I don't want to be told that I shouldn't. I want to be told that I'm loved and my choice is valid because ultimately what I really want is to not feel the shit. That's really what I want.
of course. Yeah, that's
But in
very understandable.
and in sharing those things with my auntie, the real things underneath there, it touched something that hadn't been touched before, which which was really sweet and so tender and so vulnerable and so I almost want to whisper, it's just so mm. There's something so very, very vulnerable in there. Like a snowflake. Just a really it's so funny, isn't it? We use, oh, you're such a snowflake. It's such a derogatory thing or something, but I it's mm, so fragile. Like reaching that fragility, like being fragile is wrong. Like, but it's so beautiful. The fragility is so tender and sweet and yeah, just accessing and reaching that has felt terrifying. But that contraction that's been that wall, that tense tension is just kind of melting a little bit more. And that's nice. That's just like physically quite nice to wake up and feel a bit less stressed, ouchy in the body.
Hmm.
Did you have you had those moments?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's very common. Yeah, you said it so beautifully. It makes sense that if someone didn't go through it, you would there would be caution around like how they would interpret it or take it, or they would be worried and want to do something, or so that's normal. It's I don't know if it's necessarily that you're not completely allowing. It's just an understandable thing that would come up depending on who you're talking to. Um, because I said something recently to my sister, and then there was what did I say? I said, so there was difficult things that had happened, and every time I woke up in the morning, I would be bombarded by, oh, is it my internet?
Oh.
Sorry, I have to improve my internet. I just changed it and it's like, oh fuck. Um,
Got
hopefully
you back.
it's yeah. Um, yeah, so I was kind of bombarded every morning with thoughts of someone that I just did not want to think about. And I obviously had no choice but to be bombarded by it constantly. And it was incessant. So, and I think I told my sister, like, I'd rather not be here. Like, I'd really rather not exist. This is horrible. Um, I'm not sure if she was worried. And later on, I did tell her, like, when it gets bad, it's just bad. And it's just, it makes sense that the body would not want that. Like, it just would rather not be here. Like, that's just normal. But to the normal person, it's like they're not at the base of how that feels. Like, when the body is bad, it's just bad. It doesn't want to be here. Like, it's very simple. It's very understandable. It's very normal, but the person gets so freaked out about that stuff. Um, but yeah, to me, it's just like, okay, and like that makes sense.
Mm. It's funny how nice that is to hear. It's such a it can be a big deal. It is a big deal. It's not unimportant. It's just the fear that gets wrapped up around it just makes it worse.
Yeah. And to someone like when I talk to my friend about it, I will say quite extreme things. And he like there's an understanding that he knows that it will change, like it's already understood. So there's more of a freedom to say quite extreme things. And that's refreshing because it's just it is fully believed. That's what I feel right now. It's just said. And it's not even that I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna change or it's not gonna always be like this. It's fully believe like it's not worth it anymore. And but yeah, passes. It does. Never stays the same.
Yeah. I notice sometimes when I feel that way and when I don't know when I'm there's almost a desire to stay in that state. There's like there's a part there's clearly a part of me that wants to feel better and not feel that way. But there is a sense of don't try and convince me out of this. Don't try and fix me. Don't try and convince me out of this. Don't try and there. Like But even when I'm on my own, I get frustrated. I'm like, I've had a conversation with that person, or I understand what's going. Why am I still mad? What the fuck? Like, I'm pissed off that I'm mad now. I want to feel better, but also, it's like I've got my heels dug in the ground. Like, no, like this energetic, emotional, no, no. Like, what? Why? What? But there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah,
I haven't.
that makes
I haven't
sense.
Yeah, I haven't figured it out and I don't know what to do with it. And I wish there was something. I wish there was a click, but I don't know. It looks like other people get out of their things quicker. I don't know. It seems like I'm supposed to get out of the thing quicker. And I don't. I stay pissed off for days longer than I perceive I should. Even when I don't actually remember why I was mad or what was going on or I have no idea. I just cannot get out. Even if there's like I see something and I kind of want to laugh, like internally there's like a laugh happening. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Like I
Mm.
want to go do that fun thing. No, remember you're mad. Oh yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
it's weird. It's so frustrating. I think sometimes I almost feel embarrassed
Mm. Yeah.
to go from like I want to die. Now let's go and watch a TV show or go for a walk. Like let's have a laugh. Like I'm like it's like I have to take care of the other person who, if they're with me or something, like, let's ease out of this together. Like, no, like, sometimes it goes from not okay to okay. And sometimes it takes ages, and it's just, there is no rhyme or fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I think I've struggled with the no rhyme or reason. Like, I want there to be an appropriate time where I go from bad to good. And then, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I can feel good. I'm allowed to feel good now.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's exhausting. It really is. I think that um yeah, it can appear to make it worse when yeah, there's always that ping-ponging of like how they're going to interpret whatever's happening here. And then it is a lot less fluid. It's a lot more like, wait, how, when should I, is this, it's very uncomfortable. Yeah.
yeah. Just not. I don't know what's happened or why or what will change. It's just there's definitely something that's like this giving up thing. This it's nice and it's weird, but it's nice, but it's weird.
Yep.
There's there's this hope that like cool enlightenment. I'm reaching it. Ego death is on its way because I'm just giving up. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. But it's nice that there's this sense. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. It really is. It's the opposite of that intense control and knowing and doing. And so it is really nice. But yeah, there, it can appear like a like a real defeatedness kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel very defeated and I can't be bothered. I just, all the trying of all the therapies and the healing and the groups and the ayahuasca and the mushrooms and all the things. And I'm not saying I won't do some of them again in different ways, shapes, forms, with different people. I don't know. I don't care. I just can't be. I just, none of it's worked.
Yeah.
I've still come back to my hometown feeling suicidal. Like that, we're 20 years on from the last time this happened. Not a lot's changed. Like, really, all this journey has led me to the same room with the same fucking feelings. Like, it's a joke. It's ridiculous how I've come 20 years down the line and thinking every step of the way, well, at least I'm on a path, and at least I'm on a journey, and at least I'm learning, or at least I'm letting go. And I'm exactly the same place I started. Not, but the same place I fucking started. And there's something stupidly poetic about that, isn't there? That
Yeah,
irritates,
I love how you said
irritates
that.
stupidly poetic. It's a nice story, but to live it is really annoying.
Yeah,
Also, is a very, yeah, why try? If 20 years of hard work, effort, money, energy, belief has led me back to the same fucking place, why try? But in a good way.
exactly.
Or about it, in just the way that it is. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar thought of how, in the most beautiful way, how pointless it is. Because, I also kind of had a moment of just like full circle. And um, it's just like, okay, yeah. And I think how it was interpreted was just like, yeah, why go through all of that turmoil? Like I don't know if this is true, but like the repeated pattern here that was repeating, like in this apparent lifetime. I honestly don't even know if that's true, like if I can define a pattern as if it was actually the same.
Mm.
Um, but now it really does feel like it probably didn't feel like it before, but now it really feels like I'm just exactly where I started, which is for here now, it's just at peace. Like there's just nothing. So like
Mm.
why go through the chaos and the turmoil that can arise? Um, it's just so nice as it is. That's how it's kind of seen here. So
Mm. 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 Thank you.
yeah, thanks so much for sharing. It's really
I
lovely.
say out loud, so pissed off. I forgot that last week was on Saturday and not Sunday. Oh my
Oh,
God.
oh,
I showed up on Sunday. I was like, no, no.
yeah.
But
Oh,
it's all good. I'm
yeah.
happy. I'm happy to be here this week. It always
Yeah.
works out. Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah. Happy to see you, Clee.
Hey,
Hey, good to see you.
good to see you. I won't be able to share this time, but it's very nice to see all of you.
Mm, you have to go?
Yeah, I have food in the
Oh,
oven.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Okay.
good to see you.
Hmm. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi,
Hi, Cecilia. Oh, it's nice to see you.
nice to see you too. I'm glad to be here sometimes. Yeah,
Mm,
I don't haven't I haven't experienced what is in this group anywhere. It's very interesting. Very
mm,
interesting. Partly because like, why is there so much relief in it? It's amazing.
mm.
And I'm just thinking maybe that's the body saying, here's what would have helped, or this kind of relief makes a difference, especially like the space to like to be really disgusted. It's just and it's so interesting because um my old way of thinking about disgusted people would say, well, you better stay away. But no, I would like to hang out with everybody who is able to be disgusted in these ways.
Nice.
Yeah, partly because it's difficult. Like, so many things are so ugly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So ugly. uh, but I remember one time I got a dog that had epilepsy. And so the dog would have these seizures. And I would take the dog and I would say, it's okay, it's okay. And I was just wondering, like, how can anybody even say that? But I looked at it and it really was okay. So not only is it difficult and disgusting, it's crazy. This is crazy. This is just crazy how it is day to day is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything. I don't have anything really to say except hi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice to see you. But I think that's lovely that you said that because
Okay.
you really do see it's understandable that those things were hidden and suppressed and subconsciously you couldn't allow it. You couldn't really truly admit to yourself and others like there's horror in this world. Like it's disgusting. It's there isn't the freedom to express it.
Are you kidding? In most groups, you everybody would freeze uh, and give signals like "shut up."
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is part of the horror because it's like being in a horror movie. Um, when I first uh, joined you in this group here, I thought, oh my God, it's such a beautiful kind of service to um, walk alongside each other as we're dying. Like no shit, the real situation. And so I was inspired, and a friend of mine broke his hip, and I thought, wow, I haven't hung out with him, but a lot of people who break their hip, they die. So then I started hanging out with him because I thought, these journey to death, like it can be very beautiful, and it can be like it can be almost like real, like so real. And so it was hilarious though, because I stopped to visit him, and he was drunk. he wasn't present to anything, like anything that was going on with him or me or the world. It was like the opposite of my fantasy about dying.
Mm-hmm.
And then he died.
Mm.
and I guess, I mean, I mostly hang out with myself, so it's interesting. I'm laughing about it because I don't laugh by myself. But so I guess I just want to say hi. Is all I really want us to do is say hi.
Yeah. I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you find relief, like it feels relieving.
That happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Good. Yeah, I also find it it's not surprising, but it's interesting that there aren't more spaces like this where there's like an allowance to sort of be I know this isn't the right term either, but like just be human. Like really express what it's like. Like what's the problem? What's the big deal? Why can't we just admit that
It's dangerous. That's the big deal. It's dangerous. Because like that dog that had epilepsy, he died. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a different place where danger is different. Yeah. But, that's the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this did make me feel quite differently about death. Like I used to feel like people who committed suicide were I don't know, like either selfish or it was wrong in some way. And now it's more like I get it. I can understand. It's like not that I'm encouraging it, but it just completely shifted my view of that stuff, how people make them feel guilty and bad, like they've done a horrific bad thing and they'll go to hell or um there's a lot of different things that on the spiritual path you hear as well that yeah, I guess just makes you feel bad about that stuff.
The not knowing is the relief from that. But what's clear is it's constant, like the judging and the again, part of what really is, it's actually kind of violent because it's really just trying to be controlling, and
Exactly.
understandably, after all, it's dangerous. But
but everything shifts. I don't know if I like that word, but everything changes, meaning again, I'm going to preface this, I'm not encouraging anything, but everything changes in that humanity is harmful. Like the person is harmful. That energy that needs to control and is manipulating others to be a certain way, be the way that I want you to be, or what society deems okay. Like you should live that way. How is that not toxic and harmful and disgusting? Like everything shifts. Before, I would have been too scared and too indoctrinated in all of that and agreeing to that. Yes, you should live a certain way and be agreeable and do the normal thing, without even consciously thinking that that was just ingrained in my body to be very fearful of everything, of other people, of making them happy, you know?
And so to pay attention to your body instead of paying attention to like your fear is also a huge relief, because I mean, you can't pretend that your body isn't fearful. It is. And sick. I mean, my body's so has been sick my whole life, like kind of easily. Um, certain kinds of stress, and um, uh, it's and it's not my fault. It's like, and I don't. It's so easy to have some kind of blame myself or blame somebody, or I don't know, blame life or something. But that's again this energy that's really, I'm not really interested in wasting it like that.
Mm.
Taking so much energy just to have a story, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You're beautiful, Suzanne. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I think it's beautiful things to talk about, this kind of stuff. You know, it is rare. It is rare to get this kind of
It's so unusual.
uh,
Yeah. It kind of gives me goosebumps a little bit.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you in the meetings and wondered who you are, so I'm glad that you shared.
Cool. Thanks.
Mm. Yeah. I hope people know that I just talk, you know. I think when there's a role being played, or like an authority figure of some kind, it also makes sense you can't speak freely, especially about that kind of stuff, you know. But um at least how it is here, like I can't play that role. Like I don't see myself as an authority figure. I just talk, and I don't think that anything I say is right or correct or the way. Like I think it's just an expression, and I like it that way. You know, it's free. I don't want to be I don't want to pretend that I'm above or know something more. Yeah, guess I just attempt to describe like what has been seen here. It's like what we're terrified of in humanity is just one of the most normal things. Yeah. To like fully feel like, I guess it's hard to understand without knowing like the whole context of things, but to really feel disgust and hatred, like when it's just there. And to see that it's very normal and and it's understandable, meaning like if it's there, it's there. And like the human body just feels that. How does that really say anything about you? How is that a bad thing? How is that something that you should get rid of and judge yourself for and criticize yourself? Yeah, I'm not saying it's true or that it will last like that forever. I'm just saying that why wouldn't that arise in certain situations where you've been harmed or abused? Hey, Selena,
Hey,
good to see you.
to see you. I won't take up much time.
Good to see you.
It's been a few weeks now where emptiness is very accessible here. It's like a giant Where's Waldo page where no matter where emptiness moves to on the page, I can find it.
Nice.
Um, it's not relieving or beautiful at all.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be, and it's not.
Mm.
And I think it might get there eventually. I don't know. It's not really up for me to say where it's gonna go or anything like that. But lately, what's been on my mind is all of these people in different communities that are using no self as their new identity and using non-duality as this like giant ultimate band-aid, which is what I was trying to do. It's what I thought it was. I thought it was the not only the fix to all of my problems, I thought it was the fix to every problem.
Mm.
And it was the ultimate coping mechanism for me for such a long time because every other coping mechanism was seen to be so empty and pointless that it had to become the new coping mechanism. And now, and I'm still trying, now when I go to listen to non-dual lectures and things like that, it's actually painful. And I can't, like, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Um, because what does any of that inside of the dream mean when you can access emptiness and
Mm-hmm.
you see there's something like bigger or those words are very very light and like they don't mean anything, but it's just a way to describe it of inside of the emptiness you start seeing all of these people holding up masks that say there's no one here, no self in here, you can get it too. And it's just like there's so much identity inside of that.
Yeah, it's gross.
Um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to get on and share some of that. That's what's going on here. And also share that everyone who shared today, I got something out of everything.
Mm.
Just really relevant topics and really relevant. Just, I love it when people drop the pretense and just share directly where they're at. And
Right.
it's like I get to know a stranger more closely than some people I've known for years, you know? And it just feels really tender and sweet and special.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so beautiful. That's how I feel as well. But I like that you said that the emptiness is not beautiful, because it's true that the person has these assumptions that it will be beautiful or something positive, you know?
My
Um,
mind doesn't like it very much, actually. Like, it's always accessible, and I keep going back there because I've been working at this for so many years that I'm very curious. So, like, now that it's here, I'm like, oh, like, I keep popping back there. But I'm also, like, binge playing a video game right now in my day-to-day life because, like, my body is just like, nope, that was not what we wanted. Like, where we're arriving isn't what we wanted to begin with. Like, this
right.
wasn't. I genuinely thought like there's a little bit of happiness at the end of the rainbow, and there still could be. I get that. But it's just, yeah, where I am now and where it's leading to, it's just like, nope, nope, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah. That's understandable. Um, in
But
a
it
way,
also feels true. You know,
what,
even though the emptiness isn't what I want and it doesn't feel beautiful, it does feel true. And I like that.
right. Yeah. It feels real. Um, but it makes sense that we are looking for happiness, whatever our version of that is. Like that's been the guiding thing potentially. So there's been a lot around that, and it's gonna be a bummer. Whatever falls away is as seen as a subtle idea is like, yeah, it's gonna die, and it's gonna be seen like, oh no, there's no happiness. Happiness itself is an idea. What is happiness? Like, who made that up?
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying of like things being as it is. There is um like more and more of an absence of overlay, which is nice, which is still a description, you know? So it's still not what it is. And I was kind of doing the same thing in a way of like, oh, maybe that's happiness. Like that's what I was looking. This is what I'm looking for. But that is still an overlay. That's still like making it into something. Um, but it's understandable. Like, yeah, we're we're just doing that with everything. But there's nothing you could say about this.
Yeah, and I liked the conversation you were having with Tatiana because it was just like, I don't know, there was something in that dialogue of you guys going back and forth where it was clear that just like, oh yeah, any single avenue pointing out is the direct opposite of what's being talked about because it's a step away from it. It's a step away from that emptiness. Um, and above all, no control. Like the number one thing I can always go back to that feels very true and very authentic is just like, yeah, no one here doing it. No one here doing it at all.
Mm, yep.
But yeah, it's been interesting. I've got some time off of work right now, so I've been able to just kind of really rest into whatever I want. And that's really nice. So,
Oh, good. I'm glad.
too.
You finally took the time off, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Good.
till about, I think, mid to end of March. So, really, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, just want to say hi to everybody and talk about where I'm at.
Mm. I'm glad you did. Yeah. Thanks so much, Selena. Hey, everyone. Lovely to see you. Thanks for sharing. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.